It's the start of a new week. Happy Monday the 13th. It's Peaches here, kicking off Peaches Pit Party. Unfortunately, the phone's still not working. So again, during the 4 p.m. hour, it'll be an online exclusive to Peach Theron unless you wanted to, send your answer via the mic icon on the K-Bear 101 app. In case you're unaware, you can do that at any point. Send us a voice memo, if you will, and it gets sent directly to our emails. We can play it on the air if you want us to. If you haven't heard the update at all, Victor was able to find his little kitty Lucy. She was in one of his neighbor's garages. So glad that she has been found and is now back home. I'm so relieved for him. I can't imagine how he feels. I think he said he was going to puke with relief on his latest Facebook update. I honestly thought it was going to be a stressful week with him having to go all over town, call different places, trying to find her. Luckily enough, she was in that garage. She howled when he called her name. Now she's back home. I told him to go get an air tag for both him or for both Victor and Lucy. I even spent a good portion of my Sunday going all around my neighborhood looking for any clue, like I was some sort of detective. I was on Facebook on Sunday. I joined that Idaho Falls Lost and Found Pets group and turned notifications on in case there was any update at all. Luckily, she's been found. There's no need to worry anymore. And I'm hoping he comes back tomorrow all rested and ready for another work week. So anyway, what's coming up here? What do we have? Deep Purple, Dead Poet Society, and more on K-Bear at 101. So I've been wanting to get my beard professionally trimmed. I've been growing it out a little. I don't look like I'm straight out of Duck Dynasty or anything like that, but I'm wanting to go to one of those fancy salons, get it all lined up and everything. But I've been sort of self-conscious. Like I was debating going to let's say Great Clips or something and getting it done there. But as a bald dude, I think for some reason that I'll enter and all the other customers there will just glare at me like, what's he doing here? There's nothing on his head. What are they going to do? Cut his thoughts? I just imagine every person in those seats waiting their turn in the lobby, getting ready to actively boo me as I walked in. I used to be that guy that would see someone like that with the bald head and beard and wonder that exact thing. Now look, karma has hit me. What's that old quote from The Dark Knight? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's what's happened to me. We're getting closer and closer to that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know if you've seen that movie or not, but a big hit at this year's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas was a gadget named Romi, R-O-M-I, which serves as an emotional support robot. Now, Romi, which is small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, uses clever conversation apparently to help users combat loneliness, anxiety, depression. The conversation is powered by high-end AI algorithms, which allows Romi to engage in real-time interactions that feel personal and comforting. You can do that right now with ChatGPT. You could just say all of your problems to ChatGPT, and it'll message back to you. It's free therapy. I mean, it's fun to what I like to do with ChatGPT is I'll write whatever I'm feeling, and I'll say, okay, you know what? Write me a metalcore song with great lyrics based off of what I've written. And it does. And what's even cooler is that off of that, you can go, give me some real life examples of what I'm trying to make here with this, generated song. Sure enough, it's given me some pretty good examples as of late. I've discovered new tracks because of AI. Using AI for this type of thing is great. But when you use it to replace somebody, that's a whole other issue. Therapists should watch out for Romi, the palm-sized robot. It's coming for their jobs. All right, here we go. Shot clock sports update time. In the world of pro football, it seems like the NFL has a passive-aggressive relationship with London. The league says it wants to expand its popularity in the city, but it sends the Jacksonville Jaguars there 2 weeks each season. And now the league announced that the home team for 2 of the London games next season will be 2 of the most cursed NFL franchises, the Cleveland Browns and New York Jets. At the end of each season, the NFL Network surveys all the players in the league to create their NFL 100 for next year. Baltimore Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey shared his ballot on social media, and after putting his teammate Lamar Jackson at number 1, he scratched Jackson's name out and put his own name at number 1. Humphrey decided that Jackson, a 2-time MVP winner, should be at number 2. In hockey news, the NHL is going to attempt to play outdoor hockey in Florida. The league announced that the 2026 NHL Winter Classic will be played January 2nd, 2026 at Lone Depot Park in Miami between the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers, while the 2026 NHL Stadium Series is set for February 1st, 2026 at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa between the Tampa Bay Lightning and Boston Bruins. Why not go for another headline here? Collectors love bobblehead giveaways at baseball games, but somehow we don't think a bobblehead of a team owner will have people lining up hours ahead of the gates opening to snag one. The Baltimore Orioles, they have scheduled a David Rubenstein bobblehead giveaway for their April 19th game against for the Cincinnati Reds, with the first 15,000 fans getting to take home a figure of the owner wearing a cap on his head and holding another cap in his right hand. Yay. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on KBAR 101. I don't know whose idea it was to start doing lists at Rolling Stone. You know how Rolling Stone puts out a list for nearly everything? We literally just talked about the 50 best video games of all time from Rolling Stone. There was also like the 500 best guitarists or something like that list. Now they've put out a list of the top 250 greatest albums of the 21st century so far, and I think only 2 metal albums made the list. You have to scroll through to number 171 before the first metal album appears on the list. That honor goes to Mastodon's 2004 masterpiece, Leviathan, is what Loudwire wrote here. And the reflection on the classic record, Rolling Stone writes, their meat and potatoes approach to heavy metal was a breath of fresh air at a time when the genre was having an identity crisis. Torn between nu metal, metalcore, and prog metal, Mastodon merely survived the competition and metaphorically growled, "You're going to need a bigger riff." Now, the only other metal album on the Rolling Stone list is System of a Down, Toxicity, at 159. So we're not even that far up there. We're in the 100s, the late 100s when it comes to the rock and metal. I want to know, what is number one on this list? Do I have to go, hold on, I need to go to the Rolling Stone website, scroll down here. Don't they have a counter at the top? There you go, 25 to 1. I have absolutely no idea what exactly is going to be in the top 5 at all when it comes to the best albums of the 21st century here. Taylor Swift, Folklore at number 5, 2020. Outkast, Stankonia came out in 2000, number 4. Frank Ocean, Blonde at number 3. Radiohead, Kid A at number 2. Wow. Wow. They have the audacity. This shows how Rolling Stone is one of the worst sites when it comes to making these lists. They have Beyonce, Lemonade at number 1, the best album of the 21st century. You have got to be kidding me. I know Victor would be excited for this if he was here today. I'm sure he's more so relieved that his precious little Lucy's back, and I'm actually relieved myself that his kitten has made her way back home. Or at least he found her in a neighbor's garage. But I feel like he'll also be excited for this news that Nine Inch Nails is expected to announce a tour. I'm thinking tomorrow. Every single time there's speculation online and I'm seeing articles posted like this all over the place, alternativenation.net did say like, well, Nine Inch Nails, they're going to be touring North America in 2025. The rumored tour dates include August 23rd in Toronto, Canada at Scotiabank Arena, and also September 10th at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, which I did look at the capacity for both those venues. It's around 20,000, so I'm assuming the Mountain America Center might be out because that's only up to 6,000 people. But I'm thinking maybe they'll come to Salt Lake City. Maybe they'll go to, I don't know, Rice-Eccles. No, not Rice-Eccles. That's too big. The Delta Center. Maybe the Maverick Center. What's over in Boise? That's stadium-wise. The Ford Idaho Center Arena. Maybe even the amphitheater. Maybe that could hold. I don't know how many people the Ford Idaho Center amphitheater can hold. Ford Idaho Center amphitheater capacity. It is 10,500, so even that's too small. I wonder if they'll make their way to the area. I'm hoping they do. I've been wanting to see Nine Inch Nails. They seem like a great live band. They seem like the same type of boat I'd put Primus in, whereas if you listen to their music, if you listen to Primus casually, you're like, okay, this is pretty good. But then you go and see them live, and it's a whole other monster that you see live. It's kind of like Tool. Like seeing Tool live, I wish I saw them live in Idaho Falls, but I didn't want to pay $20 to sit in one of those tiny chairs in the back and watch the laser show from there. I wanted to be up front, and I wasn't going to pay an arm and a leg for that. So I'll keep you posted if Nine Inch Nails does make their way to the area. If you haven't checked out that concert calendar, do so, because there's a lot of shows already announced that are coming here at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. Buffalo, New York, home of the Bills, Buffalo Wings, and nearby Niagara Falls, tops Zillow's list of the hottest housing markets for the second straight year. They compiled their list of the 10 hottest housing markets for 2025 based on expected home value appreciation this year, job growth, average mortgage payments, and the average number of days a house stays on the market. Homes in Buffalo are selling like hotcakes, apparently, which I would think Buffalo, New York, out of all places. Like, surely you're by New York City. You're in the great state of New York, but I would think it's rather expensive, wouldn't you? Well, I don't think it's going to be like buying an apartment in Manhattan or something like that. No. But the weather itself would turn most people away, right? Like, most people don't really like the snow. They just deal with it because they want to buy a cheaper home in a cheaper place. Indianapolis, Indiana at number 2 as one of the hottest housing markets. Providence, Rhode Island at number 3. Hartford, Connecticut at 4. Hartford, Connecticut at 4. None of these places really seem all that appealing. I wonder why Buffalo, New York. I don't want to like look at the data. I want to ask like legitimate people, like, why are you moving to Buffalo out of all places? So I'm doing an online exclusive to Peach Their Own again because the phone lines are still down, unfortunately. Not our fault at all, but we'll keep you updated as to if or when they come back up. But earlier on the show, I talked about how Rolling Stone put out that list of the 250 greatest albums of the 21st century. 250 greatest albums, and only 2 of them were metal albums. So I figured I would ask the K-Bear Rock Army, what would you think is the greatest album overall of the 21st century? Just to see exactly what you could put as an answer, what you would put as an answer. So I'll put that on our Facebook page at K-Bear 101 FM. Again, sorry that you can't call in and talk to me live on the air. I do miss having the ability to call or have people call me. And but you can still use the K-Bear 101 app to send a voice memo as well if you want to get your answer played on the air. Just send it over through the K-Bear app. There's a little mic icon. You tap that, record about 15 seconds or up to 15 seconds of audio of you answering the question, and then that'll get sent directly to my email. All right? To Peach Their Own, what would you consider is the greatest album of the 21st century? Let me know. It was not that long ago on the show, like earlier today, that I talked about how we are getting closer to the movie Her. And I didn't see this news till now. I talked about that robot Romy, where you can talk to it and give it your inner thoughts, and it'll be like a therapist for you, a counselor of sorts. Well, the company Real Doll decided, you know what? We're now going to try to sell your next AI girlfriend. Her name is Emma. She's priced at a cheap price of $175,000. She's designed to engage in lifelike conversations and simulate emotional connections, aiming to revolutionize personal companionship. You could literally have an AI girlfriend now. There was all these articles talking about how, women in 2025 are going to be trying to get with robots instead of actual men. Well, here we are. The first step, an AI girlfriend that you can buy $175,000 for Emma. There you go. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I've talked about this on the show a few times, but I just want to remind you, considering it is tomorrow, that January 14th, the Federal Trade Commission is stepping in to save us all from subscription purgatory. You know the drill. Signing up for a service takes 2 clicks and an email address, but canceling feels like you're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Not anymore. There's this new click to cancel rule. Says businesses have to make it as easy to quit their subscriptions as it was to start them. No more endless loops of, are you sure you want to cancel? Here's a 10% off coupon. Talk to our chat bot first. Can we call you? Please don't leave us. Sounds like a desperate significant other. Like an overly attached girlfriend that you're trying to break up with. I mean, how hard is it to just say goodbye? I like how the article puts it here. They treat you like an ex that can't take a hint. So yeah, starting tomorrow, one button, poof, you're free. I'm excited for it because I get to cancel so many subscriptions without having to call somebody or go through these endless loops. It's done. It's over with. So many gyms are about to have a lot of canceled memberships. I like to eat sliced cucumber from time to time with hummus, especially dipping it in hummus. It's like my healthier version of chips and dip. You know, I'm trying to cut back on eating actual chips and dip, so I thought cucumbers and hummus were a great substitute. And then I find out there's a cucumber shortage because supposedly on, I don't know if it's TikTok or just social media overall, maybe even on YouTube, there's a creator that all this person does is just make different cucumber salads. And that person has single-handedly caused a cucumber shortage over in Iceland, out of all places. Yeah, they're blaming the TikTok craze. First time we have experienced something like this. Luckily, the last time I went to Winco, it seemed like they had tons of cucumbers available to purchase, but I'm really hoping they don't go crazy expensive. We're seeing the eggs go up again, and cucumbers were like that one cheap thing that I could just easily slice up, dip it in some hummus, and be happy that I ate a healthy snack. Luckily, I have never dealt with anybody that's disruptive on a flight at all, let alone this bad. There's this story about how Ryanair is suing a passenger who was so disruptive on this flight from Dublin to this Spanish island of Lanzarote. They had to divert the flight to Porto, the second largest city in Portugal, which is nearly 1,400 miles away because of this passenger's inexcusable behavior. It forced all 160 passengers to stay in Porto overnight, forcing the airline to pay for hotel accommodations, passenger expenses, and landing costs. I even asked ChatGPT, I was like, hey, how can something like this happen? Like, how can you disrupt the schedule? How can you do something this crazy to divert it almost 1,500 miles away? Did he get in physical altercations with the flight attendants? Did he try running up to the cockpit and try to take over the steering of the flight? Like, how? How do you divert a flight that far away? The Hot Pocket Heist. A Michigan man, he was accused of stealing Hot Pockets at gunpoint, was arrested after cops caught him at work eating a Hot Pocket. His name's Daniel Hudson. He was accused of walking into a Dollar General store, stuffing Hot Pockets into his pockets. When an employee confronted him, he allegedly grabbed a container of chicken wings, flashed a gun in his coat pocket, and then threatened to, end the guy right then and there. The manager told Hudson to leave and then called the police. The manager told officers he knew Hudson because he is a regular customer and also knew where he works. So cops then drove to his workplace where they found him in the break room eating one of the stolen Hot Pockets. If you're going to steal something, why would you steal from a Dollar General, and why would you steal Hot Pockets? They also found him in possession of a 9mm pistol, which he did not have a permit for. Hudson claimed he did not intend to steal the Hot Pockets, but he tried to pay for them, didn't see a clerk, so he left. Yeah, right. Great excuse generator. I've been seeing this news story pop up all day today. I meant to talk about it earlier on in the show. The department responsible for food safety in Belgium, they were forced to issue a bizarre warning amid reports of people eating their Christmas trees. Now, the country's federal agency for the safety of the food chain responded quickly to the city of Gent's recommendation to cook with pine needles as one of the ways to recycle Christmas trees. City officials said in Scandinavia they have been doing it for a long time, picking the needles from the branches, briefly immersing them in boiling water, pouring them through a sieve, and drying them on a clean cloth. Once the needles are dry, you can make delicious spruce needle butter with them for bread or toast. The Food Safety Commission warned that Christmas trees should not become part of the food chain, explaining that most of these trees have been treated with pesticides and flame retardant, which can cause serious illness and even death if consumed. In response to the warning, the city of Ghent revised its recommendation to read, "Not all Christmas trees are edible." They had to put that out there to save themselves. Really, that's it. As you're probably well aware, I'm proudly from Southern California, and I gotta say, LA, SoCal as a whole, does not have great pizza. As a matter of fact, it's quite bad. And I always say, well, I do say that the best pizza I've ever had is from New York. And the New York Times, they decided to put out this article that the gem state, Idaho, is also home to one of the best places to get a New York-style slice of pizza in the country. There's this place in Rexburg called Righteous Slice. It was named on the New York's list of best places to find a great New York pizza slice in 2025. List was curated by this person named Ed Levine, the founder of Serious Eats and the host of the podcast Special Sauce. So this guy knows about pizza. And I got to make a trip up to Rexburg and try this righteous slice. Because if they say it's like New York pizza, I'm in. I love pizza. I'm also trying to meal prep at the same time, but you know what? I can have a cheap meal on the weekends. That's what all the healthy athletes do, right? They have consistent healthy eating throughout the week, and then they allow themselves to indulge on something nice like a great slice of pizza, especially a New York style sliced pizza. East Idaho News posted this article. If you want to read more about it, just look it up. It's right there. You can even use the search function on their website. Righteous Slice, eastidahonews.com. I'll add that to my list of restaurants to go to in 2025. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.